Today we're going to discuss how we can explore characters through the use of dialogue. So first of all, what is dialogue? The word dialogue is a Greek word made up of two roots, dia, meaning through, and logos, which means words or meaning. So the word dialogue literally means to move a story through words. Dialogue is very common in novels and in articles. Here are just some examples from our book, Two Roads. The dialogue is highlighted in yellow. When you're reading, the things to look for when you are looking for dialogue are quotation marks, as well as the words said, yelled, and whispered. One of the many methods that authors use to reveal information about characters is through dialogue. The author of Two Roads gives us a great example of this with his character Possum. We're going to take a few examples of Possum's dialogue and look and see what it tells us as readers about his character. Here are the phrases of dialogue that we are going to look at today. At your command, sir. Lots here never got taught nothing but English. Yes, sir, even if it means I die trying. 111 of us here. You'll make it an even 112. When thinking about these phrases from chapter 14 of Two Roads, we can start to sort them into two different categories. The way that Possum speaks when he's speaking to an adult or an authority figure, remembering that that means when someone who's in charge, and what he might be speaking like when he is speaking to a peer or a friend. So for example, when he says, "At your command, sir," we know that he is talking to an authority figure, as well as when he says, "Yes, sir," even if it means I die trying. We know he's likely talking to an authority figure in these two sentences of dialogue because he uses that word sir. It's a very formal way of speaking. He sounds like he is like somebody who might be in the military or like a student in school. He's being very respectful and very formal in the way that he speaks. If we look at his other two lines of dialogue, though, they don't feel as formal. Lots here never got nothing but English. He has what's called a double negative here. He uses the word never and nothing. We tend to use language like that when we are in a lot more relaxed atmosphere, which tells us that he's probably talking to somebody he's a lot more relaxed around than an authority figure. So someone like a peer or a classmate or a friend. 111 of us in here. You'll make it an even 112. This also sounds very relaxed and informal, and so he's likely talking to a peer or a friend. How Possum talks changes a lot depending on who he is talking to, and the author of Two Roads does that for a specific reason. We can learn a lot about who the character is and how he feels in certain situations, as well as how he feels about certain people by how he talks when he is around them. We do this all the time in our own lives. If you think about how you talk to your parents as opposed to how you talk to your friends, as opposed to how you talk to your teachers, you probably speak differently in all three of those situations. How we talk changes a lot depending on who we are talking to and where we are at. This phenomenon of changing how we talk depending on who we are talking to and where we are is often referred to as code switching. We can, when authors use code switching in their novels and in their writing, we can look at their codes or how they are talking and when they are using those codes to start to figure out who they are as people. Remember that we can start thinking about what are their relationships with people as well as how do they feel in certain situations. We can think about how Possum is using the word sir when he is talking to the authority figures at the Indian boarding school. we can make the assumption that he feels like he needs to be more formal in those positions. Whereas when he is talking to just his classmates, he doesn't use the word sir and he seems a lot more relaxed. This can tell us as a character that he might feel more relaxed talking to kids his own age than he does talking to adults, which also makes sense because we know that a lot of students feel more comfortable talking to people their own age as opposed to talking to people who are older than them or in an authority position. Now, when you encounter dialogue in stories and articles, remember to ask yourself these questions to help you analyze more about our characters. So how does this character feel about the person that they're talking to? So pay attention to what words the character is actually using as well as their tone. If they have changed how they are talking, remembering that code switching, why are they doing that? And also, how does this help me understand this character better? What can we learn from the character by analyzing how they are speaking to people?